tells Rosenberg to calm down, puts him to work trying to figure out who stole from them. He suggests talking to the man who set up the deal in the first place, Colonel Juan Garcia Cortez. Colonel Cortez is having a party on his yacht, with all the big players in Vice City. So Rosenberg suggests that Tommy take his invite and hit up the party, but only after the ex-con changes into something more presentable. What the hell, Rosenberg? I've been locked up for 15 years. Don't force-shame me into fashion sense. I do think it's pretty funny that Tommy feels a bit perhaps his clothes are insulted, though.
What the guy think he is? Now I gotta dress like a chump as well as hang out with them? I like this shirt.
Getting some new threads and some new wheels.
Nice bike.
Tommy soon arrives at the party. Colonel Cortez greets him as he arrives, assuring Tommy he started his own investigation into who ambushed the deal. Cortez is a retired military colonel of some unspecified Central American country, having left his homeland to set up a drug trafficking ring here in Vice City. He's very polite and cordial, always treating Tommy with an air of respect. He's voiced by Robert Davi, probably best known as the villain Franz Sanchez in the James Bond movie License to Kill. After the pleasantries are over, Colonel Cortez asks his daughter Mercedes to show Tommy around. Mercedes is your stereotypical rich party girl, who takes an instant liking to Tommy as she shows him around, pointing out the various people at the party. Some who Tommy will work with later, and others who seem important but have no plot relevance whatsoever. Like Pastor Richards, for example, who appears in the manual for the game and can be heard on the radio, but apparently had his role in the game cut. The final guest to join the party is Ricardo Diaz, a drug baron who controls and supplies most of the coke in Vice City. He's voiced by Luis Guzman, who you probably know from a lot of things, really. Dude's got a long list of movies and shows. His next big role playing Gomez Adams in that Wednesday Netflix show. Though I mostly remember him as Pachanga from Carlito's Way.
Wait, you gonna fucking keep him, man? See, that man fucking rap, man. Fucking kill him, man. Let me man.
Fun fact, Blauin, that guy in the wheelchair, that's Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Cocksucker.
Once Ricardo sets his eyes on Mercedes, she scampers away with Tommy, asking him to drop her off at the pole position club. While we got our foot in the door with Colonel Cortez, Tommy's no closer to figuring out who ambushed the deal. Returning to Rosenberg for the next mission, Tommy thinks he's here to the street, and he knows something about the missing drugs. Rosenberg suggests a very fine meeting with Paul, who's always partying at the Malibu Club. Heading to the club, Tommy politely, but sternly, asks Kent about any info he may know about the stolen drugs and money. He points the finger at a dealer who works as a chef, one who's been awfully happy about business as of late. Finding the chef, we put the beats to him to try and get some info, but go a little overboard and kill him, only getting a cell phone. A mysterious stranger in a white suit shows up afterwards, also on the trail of whoever ruined the drug deal. He doesn't have time to introduce himself as the chef's buddies show up and want revenge. After gunning them down, the stranger will show us where the local ammunition is. Buying weapons from ammunition has been revamped. In GTA 3, you have to walk over a weapon in order to buy it, but have to wait a few seconds for it to respawn and then walk over it again to buy more ammo. Here, everything is up on the wall, easy to switch between weapons or armor, and you can just mash X to stock up on ammo. To go along with ammunition, there are now hardware stores that will sell you a random assortment of melee weapons. Returning to the hotel, the stranger will be in touch and will continue digging up info about who ambushed the deal. Who could this mysterious person be, I wonder? Before starting the next mission, Tommy will get a call on the cell phone he nabbed from the chef. The person on the other line mentions needing to move Diaz's merchandise and having to make a deal soon. Tommy doesn't even try to pretend to be the chef, Leo, spooking whoever is on the other line into hanging up. The plot thickens. Dropping in on Rosenberg and giving him a rude awakening, he fills Tommy in that the Pirellis are planning to visit soon if the money or drugs aren't found. In the meantime, they've asked for a favor, requesting our services in helping Sonny's cousin avoid 5 years in jail for fraud. Time for some good old-fashioned jury tampering. It's a simple mission, just intimidating the jurors by smashing up their cars. Afterwards, Sonny will call and remind Tommy his time is running out to find that missing cash. Returning to Rosenberg's office, we meet construction tycoon Avery Carrington, who was previously at the yacht party. He's voiced by the late, great Burt Reynolds. You may remember him from such films like Smokey and the Bandit, or Smokey and the Bandit 2, and also as Mayor Burt Reynolds in Saints Row the Third.
Viola, is this the kid you were talking about?
Burt fucking Reynolds?
Who else could keep this town running?
Avery is very similar to Donald Love in GTA 3, both being huge businessmen who've built their fortune on buying and selling land. Though Avery has a more bombastic and cowboy-like personality, compared to Love's more reserved and polite attitude. He needs help in securing some land. The delivery company that's set up there is refusing to sell, so you gotta destroy their operation and run them out of business. Tommy first needs another wardrobe change, this time slapping on some overalls to disguise himself as a worker. Just outside the delivery company, a union strike has taken place, so we just have to stir up some trouble by punching some workers and causing a riot. The guards will open the gates and you can slip in to destroy their trucks. You want to do it fast, though, as the other workers will chase and attack you. Mission complete, we're done with Rosenberg for now, and can start working for Avery, Colonel Cortez, and a mysterious man who will give out missions from payphones scattered across the city. First, I head out to Avery's construction site, meeting the old guy in the back of his limo. He's got another piece of land he wants to buy, and another guy who isn't interested in selling. So we gotta persuade him. And by persuade, I mean murder. He's hitting some balls at the local golf course, and Tommy once again needs a wardrobe change before he'll be allowed in. You know, it's small, but I kinda like that the game has Tommy change outfits so much. It makes a lot more sense how a criminal like him could get into certain places that way. Unlike GTA 3, where Claude could pretty much stumble into any place without anyone blinking. Entering the golf course, you're instantly disarmed of any weapons you have on you, and can only use a golf club to get the job done. This can be annoying, as while the target's guards don't have guns, they can overwhelm and slow you down as the target gets away. Though, if you have a 500 IQ brain, you can park a car near the course's fence and hop over without going through the metal detector, keeping any guns you have on you to make the job much easier. Though I still managed to blow it when trying this and had to chase after the guy and push him into the ocean to finish the job. Why am I like this? The next mission for Avery, Demolition Man, requires you to demolish an office building under construction, so he can swoop in again to take the land. You have to use an RC helicopter to drop bombs in key spots of the building, in order to demolish the whole thing within a time limit. Demolition Man seems to have a reputation as the most difficult mission in Vice City, probably because of the helicopter's controls and the construction workers who can destroy your plane. And I gotta wonder if this mission's reputation is totally overblown, or if it's another lol game journalist thing. Because I managed to complete it successfully with time to spare on my first try. I'm not trying to brag or show off, because, yeah, the helicopter controls can be iffy, especially since this is the first time you'll encounter a chopper, but the actual objective of dropping off the bombs is stupidly easy once you've got the controls down. And you can just fly out of range of the first few construction workers, as they only have a hammer to attack you with. And even the ones with guns don't have the best accuracy. That, or just fly into them and kill them with the RC copter's propellers. Maybe the controls are worse on certain versions of the game, or people are confusing this mission with Zero's RC missions in San Andreas, or it's tougher for those who are trophy hunting, as you have to kill a certain number of construction workers with the chopper to get the trophy or achievement. Or it could just be because I've been playing so many GTA games the last few months that I've more or less got the controls down. Whatever the reason, there's one mission much later that is easily the worst one in the whole game. Avery is out of town for the time being, so let's knock out that first payphone mission. Payphone missions are slightly different compared to GTA 3, as before, a handful of NPCs, usually representing the local gang in the area, would call from a payphone in their territory to offer work, giving you all their missions back to back, and with some being repeatable. Here, payphone missions are slowly unlocked over the course of the game, each mission given from a different payphone on the map. The missions involve assassinating different targets, sometimes with separate objectives besides just killing someone. The first one is pretty basic, just killing a pizza boy before he's done delivering pizza. Returning to Colonel Cortez, he finds out that his right-hand man Gonzalez leaked the details of the initial drug deal. While he's unsure of where the money went, he promises Tommy to assist in finding it. But first, Gonzalez needs to die. Gives us a aid of what to get the job done. Showing up at his apartment, he after Gonzalez before cutting him down in the streets. Unfortunately, we're no closer to getting the lost money back, as Tommy explains when returning to Cortez. The colonel brushes it off and asks for another favor, this time sending him to the mall to pick up some military chips from a courier. Meeting the courier, the exchange is ambushed, not by a rival gang or something, but the French military of all things.
Oui, impérialiste américain pig! That is propriété de ma gouvernement français. Hand it over!
You won't be catching me today, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys. Escaping the French military, I take out the courier and deliver the guidance chips to the colonel. The following job for Cortez has him facilitating a drug deal for Ricardo Diaz, asking Tommy to watch over the deal and protect Diaz. He leaves us an assault rifle in a multi-story car park, where we bump into the mysterious stranger again. He introduces himself as Lance. He was actually part of the initial drug deal that went bad during the opening, flying the helicopter that dropped off the drugs, and his brother Victor was the dealer who was killed. Despite being a disposable NPC in this game, Victor would become the protagonist of the prequel game Vice City Stories on PSP, which is the only 3D GTA game I haven't played. So I have no clue what happens in that game and who from this game is in it outside of Lance, Victor, and Ricardo Diaz. So if there's something in this game's story that leaves me scratching my head but the prequel explains it, feel free to let me know. Lance's character design is modeled after Ricardo Tubbs from Miami Vice. So much so that they have Ricardo's actor, Philip Michael Thomas, play Lance. There isn't much to Lance's character revealed just yet, only that he wants to avenge his brother by killing whoever ambushed the deal. He joins Tommy in overseeing the deal for Diaz, which predictably goes bad, as the Haitians ambush the deal. Annoyingly, you're not just trying to keep Diaz alive, but also Lance, who you'd think would be able to handle himself as he was acting like such a hotshot just a few minutes earlier. Also, the assault rifle doesn't have auto-aim and needs to be aimed manually, which is just a nightmare with the sensitivity of the analog sticks. It's frustrating to be precise. Eventually, I just switched to an Uzi to save myself the headache.
Hey, you know the...
What is your name, Tommy? I see you soon, amigo, I think.
After impressing Diaz with our epic shooting skills, the obnoxious jerk will now offer us work. Before visiting him, it's time to do another job for the faithful guy. This time, a client of his who wants their wife dead for unspecified reasons. Maybe she's cheating, or maybe he wants an insurance payout. Either way, we gotta make it look like an accident. Which involves smashing into her car until it blows up. Oh yeah, totally an accident. Let's go see what kind of work Diaz has got for us.
Who is this dickhead? Tommy Rossetti. Excuse me, I'm a little anxious. Never took that visit that hard.
It's good. I'm gonna see if Bianca's friends will come today. If not, tomorrow. I'm gonna see what's good though.
Don't get high off your own supply. Ricardo Diaz is a weird mix of Frank Lopez and Tony Montana from Scarface. First, his mansion on Starfish Island is modeled after Tony's in the movie, only missing his fancy fountain. Appearance-wise, he's closer to Frank, but personality-wise, he's got the same anger and trust issues as Tony, though lacking any of his redeeming qualities or smarts. One of his men has been skimming cash off the top, so he wants Tommy to follow the thief and figure out where he stashed the cash. First spying on him at his apartment before chasing the guy to his hideout on Prawn Island. Returning to Diaz, he wants us to take out all the dealers holed up at the hideout and get his money back, with this guy, Quentin, acting as your pilot. On the chopper, Tommy questions what Lance is doing there, and he explains that he's put it together that Diaz was the one responsible for ambushing the deal and killing his brother. And surprisingly, Tommy has worked it out too, despite never really hinting at it until now. Leading up to this point, no one directly implicates Diaz, but there's enough evidence dropped that makes it seem like it couldn't be anyone but Diaz. It starts with the initial yacht party, when the colonel greets Ricardo. He makes mention of how work has been tiring and that he has barbarians knocking at his gate, implying outsiders may have been moving on his turf. Next is the chef Leo that we killed for his cell phone. That phone call from his associate directly mentioning Diaz's merchandise. And then Diaz directly implicates himself at the beginning of this mission, when he brings up his concerns that just about anyone will think they can deal on his turf. quickly mentioning the mafia as a possible threat. While there's no reason to question Tommy and Lance for coming to this conclusion, there may be more behind the orange deal than meets the eye. Oh, and we learned Lance's full age too. The mission is no game. Roger again using manual aim to shoot all the dealers spread out across the highway. The helicopter is at some distance from the hideout, so all the dealers are supposed to kill are tiny targets. We explode barely.
Hey, yo, remember, these deliveries are all run by air. You're looking for a chopper, most likely. If you see it, tail that shit, and you'll end up right where you need to be. As soon as you see that chopper dropping a delivery, get your phone out. I want a photo of the entrance.
So don't be surprised if this takes you a few tries to play. This should bring up that Vice City introduces a new feature when you die during a mission. It's anyone with an accident will take you back to the mission. As opposed to driving back yourself. It's not a checkpoint system, but it's less so. Though, considering you lose all the night, you will end up accident again. After completing the job, all the bridges in Vice City will be reopened, giving you full access to the entire thing.
This ain't fucking happening.
And Avery is back on the
Hell, wait! You're a big fucking jerk.
Starting a game. The Asian game leader recently killed. No one is sure who did, so everyone's taking a look at some humans with male flames. So Tommy has to dress up as a gangbanger and meanwhile by shooting up the person carrying the gang. And man, the vibes are in this car. So drop like 10 right now. Afterwards, also bring more for Leo. Go everyone. That Leo is dead. The other guy asking Tommy if he wants to do something. Leo. You're not going to do that on the back. It's not because of the answer. The fastest boat in Vice City, sending us down to the lake. It has heavy protection. The guards are so regular hurricane around inside the car. So it's easy to get killed. I would get down. After see you.
Jack!
Just have that outfit over the other boats with the land taking some shots on that. After mine, nothing takes over here. You have to protect the land. Unlike the assault on the dealers right now, this is a much smoother experience thanks to the land for this like boat staying station. Taking a break. Yeah, says it's time to help out the other part. This time around, it's just a steel tank that plants the cell, which is guarded by a climbing zone. Instead, I go meet the leader of the Cuban gang.
Can you nigga? Yeah. Easy, papi. This guy's for me. So, he's a boy. Oh, yeah. He's a boy. I mean, so you know. No, I don't think I do. Oh, yeah. So here, come back. You think you take me on? You think you'll ice cream on me?
Holy shit, an underground bunker? What's with this doomsday shit? I'm starting to think these rich motherfuckers know something we all ought to get told. Anyway, we gonna need more than a crowbar to get that door open.
It was voiced by Danny
Alright,
Trejo.
okay, I got it. As soon as you see someone drive out, you steal their ride and bring it back to the shop. I'ma pull it apart, and I'm betting I'm gonna find a transponder or something that opens that door. Then we stick it in your car. Easy.
Machete's not responsible for nobody but Machete.
That's not what family is.
It's his brother. Kennedy will brother. Look how they ended up.
Wow, right? Spy Kid is part of the expanded universe. After sizing Tommy up, Danny Trejo wants to got big goals, but not by dropping off kids. Instead, showing off his boating skills, having to complete a course and hit every checkpoint in under 3 minutes. It's a little tedious, but not too bad if you're used to the boat's handling by now. Not quite sure how this little boat trip proves you've got big cojones, but whatever. Trying to get some coffee at his dad's cafe, Danny Trejo interrupts him. Boys are not sure how to be patient. Instead of jumping in to support his guys and showing how big he is going, he has Tommy pick up his guys and bring them to the Haitian's base of operation. The Cubans are pretty useless here, so it's up to you to save the day. Take out the Haitians and steal their drug game. Now the next jump for Danny Trejo is a considerable jump in difficulty, and probably the hardest one so far. You need to ambush a drug dealing Haitians around, killing everyone there and taking the drugs. A member of his crew, Rico, will drive his boat over to the hill, and that's where the first problem starts. You have to shoot and kill 6 Haitian healers from 2 separate boats, and as soon as you shoot, they unload on you. Tommy is completely exposed on Rico's boat. He gets shot to pieces if you don't kill the Haitians fast enough. Even with armor, you can barely survive this mission on your own. And because of everyone being together, the logo is unreliable on target to target. Part of the life of me, I couldn't figure out how they wanted us to do this exactly. So I decided to come back with my fire. Near the airport is a hotel filled with grid, and in its pool is a rocket launcher with 5 shots. Grabbing it, I blew up both boats before they knew what hit them, and then finished the remaining gangbangers before grabbing the drugs and going back to Danny Trejo. We have one more mission for the Cubans, but it won't be long until we do the missions for the rivals, the Haitians. So let's switch sides. The leader of the Haitians had previously reached out to Tommy when we started working with the Cubans. In arriving in Little Haiti, Tommy is greeted by Monty Holland.
Come in back here and rest your soul. Must be the big bad man the granddaddy been chatting about. Tell me things about you, you know. Listen to me when others think for you.
Stepping into her boat, the usual angry and demanding to me is completely out of cover. He stupefied as he enters, acting very awkward and unsure of himself, almost like a breath of smell. Monty is voiced by Miss Cleo, who's a TV psychic we call going back during the 90s. Nowadays, kiddies get hooked on TikTok or whatever to get all your psychic. The younger generations really have it easier, don't they? She gets Tommy under her control by drugging him. The first mission for her is picking up her special powders that cops thinks are drugs. There are 3 drops to pick up. The cops sitting on each one. Basically, one level to pick up the powder.
Bro, no fucking way. Fucking jeez. And then I'm using the shit, that's why.
As the blade's controls relax stiffer compared to the RC chopper, it's hard to maintain altitude and keep an eye on your targets to move the bombs. And they'll take off after for the first attack, making it tougher to be precise. At the very least,
How
you'll
the
get 3
fuck
choppers
niggas got
points,
up
just in
there,
case you crash them
bruh?
into the vehicle. Final mission for Auntie Paulette involves the humans and Haitians having a traditional brawl with the gun.
Oh, come on, man.
And as Tommy snipe them from a building across the street to even him, the annoying baby key makes this tough again, not helped by the fact that you accidentally kill the Haitians you're supposed to protect, and that the humans will have backup constantly coming in, so if you don't kill them fast enough, well, the Haitians will fail. It seems the devs might have predicted as much, as on the way up to the sniping spot, you can grab an adrenaline pill
This shit
that
is so
makes them
fucking
allow for
annoying,
your shots to
bro.
be more precise. These pills are scattered in random spots on the map, and GTA 3 as well, even though I never talk about them. They're extremely situational, so unless you know where to look or lure your enemies to where they are, you're probably only going to use them for random rampages. After helping the Haitians win, Auntie Paulette frees Tommy from her spell, but declares him an enemy, and so her gang will attack him anytime he's near their turf. It's similar to how the Triads and Mafia would shoot at Claude when he entered their turf, though they're not nearly as aggressive. So you can reasonably handle them anytime you do a mission in the area. I have to say, it's a nice touch that the devs went out of their way to structure the missions so that the humans wouldn't know that Tommy helped the Haitians, or that Tommy himself even knew.
Okay, I've contacted.
It'd be out of character for him to portray both sides. He'll portray one side unless he was portrayed first. He can now go back to Danny Trejo to finish the last mission.
Something like that.
Strike out he looks to destroy the Haitians' heroic approach. First by stealing send it to their then by placing weapons in the factory without fighting occupation.
Give him the
It's best
opportunity.
to clear out the guards first, then start placing bombs while it's possible. As the timer and the bombs start immediately. Run out of the factory, up the stairs and onto the roof of the nearby building, and watch the fireworks and complete the mission.
Salam alaikum.
Danny Trejo last time thank us for all this and declare Tommy an honorary king. You know, all this gang warfare has really left me drinking. I think I'll hit up the Malibu Club and relax. Well, shit. Looks like Lance got his formation from Blue trying to take Diaz down the mountain. Tommy race across town to the junkyard. Lance's health slowly whittling down on the way there. Diaz ends up place heavily guarded. Stealing rocking assault rifles and some taking some disadvantage. So despite Lance's health still taken away, you don't want to rush in carelessly. Making it to Lance, Tommy doesn't have the kindest heart to him, now that Diaz is on the field.
There goes my turbo fighting on this shit. Let's take it. Yes, Lord. Lance.
Just still have another mission and Lance to the hospital with Diaz is bound to give him a chase. Once he's all matched up, it's time to make our move on Bardo meet.
Cannons in the truck. Shit. Save it for a rainy day.
Alright. Diaz has the mansion locked down. Humans crawling all over the state. Won't be able to get through the front doors and end up fighting their way through the back doors alone. During this first section, I mostly took sniper shots at his guards to minimize combat. Lance is somewhat helpful here, even by taking cakewalk the boats and kill them easily. While using the kid for levels and one of those as a shield for two. Inside the mansion, the camera and lava will be a bit one, most likely because of the cramped area and how the builds are spread out. Once you make it to the main staircase, Diaz will come out to confront himself alone. He wins.
Yeah.
first read was an extremely stupid idea, as demonstrated by me. He also had the habit of running into his office with no cover after he's taken a few shots. Eventually, I found a sweet spot on the stairs where I could blast him and avoid taking too many shots. Finally putting an end to that fat dickhead.
You stupid tricks! I'm your boss! When you done this! I trusted you, Tommy. I would have had with me.
Yes.
Diaz now dead, we take control of his mansion and empire for ourselves. We finally did it. We made it to the top. No one can stop us now. Right? That's that. Sure, hopefully he doesn't let him go down Tommy starts working for himself and still buying his Guess what some old friends do? First, we have to say goodbye to David. As Atlantic selling those guidance chips has the French government on his ass. He plans to sail out of the country and wants Tommy's assistance in making sure he actually makes it out. The French will be launching an off-an assault by sea, storming the colonel's yacht with several agents on board. The large deck of the yacht provides great cover. Just make sure you don't accidentally fall off into the water. After the first wave, the French will form a barricade ahead of the yacht, while continuing their assault and now attacking by air. First trying to drop off agents from helicopters before attacking with an Apache, spraying the yacht with machine guns. It's a long mission. Extra health and assault rifle to pick up in case you can't manage. Getting the colonel out of Vice City safely. He says if he buys the Tommy, asking him to keep an eye on Mercedes, and gifting him a speedboat. Before he disappears into the sunset, never be seen again. Adios, glad you didn't end up betrayed. After the mission, Ken calls up Tommy with a warning. As someone gets keen on him acting like a big shot now that Diaz is dead. He says to be careful, as there's now a bounty on Tommy's head. I've only been a drug lord for like 20 minutes. Who could possibly have it out for me? Just up here. Time to go meet some rock stars.
Hey, Swami, let's go make it. We love this before. No, I haven't. I've always loved your music. Introduce you to the band.
Jim Paul introduces us to the Scottish metal band Love Fest. Basically a parody of every hair metal band in the world. Like all rockers, they love to party, and Tommy's helping getting blitzed. Specifically, they want to make a concoction called Love Juice. The ingredients of which sound like you would hit up a hardware store and gas pump buy, but instead you're just hitting up a local dealer.
Side special. I got what you need.
Son of a bitch. After killing the dealer who scammed us and grabbing the ingredients, Kim Paul calls us and says to bring the boys some company. So we drop by Mercedes' apartment to ask for her assistance. Sure hope the colonel doesn't find out we're nipping his daughter. We now have a minute and a half to get back to the van before they have to perform. Which isn't too bad if we're on a bike. Nothing really cool about Love Fest is that Rockstar actually went and recorded a few songs for the fictional band. One of their songs, Miss Erie, started playing on the radio during the mission, which I'm not sure if that's scripted or a complete coincidence. It's kind of a banger too. Here, have a listen. Assuming the song is a cover. After dropping off the Love Juice and Mercedes, the band will need our assistance again. Turns out they got a slug. One who's threatening to kill them. They were telling me to drive them to their signing and help them with the cycle. No, we don't need to do much. As he outs himself almost immediately, first as a Mitch and the Vice City Bikers, the pretty mundane name for motorcycle club, hang out at a local bar. He isn't keen on doing favors for outsiders. So Tommy has to prove himself before he's willing to lift a finger for Kev Hall and Bloodfist. First, by beating some of his club members in a bike race. One I thought I screwed up right away, but the other biker's AI went clunky towards the end. So I took the win as they drove around in circles. Next, we got a root up badass fight by causing as much chaos as possible. We got 2 minutes to fill up this chaos meter by blowing up cars, shooting pedestrians, and killing the cops that inevitably show up. Since you're on a short timer, it's best to start shit up right outside the club. Making use of strong weapons to blow up cars and low down people fast. After proving our complete disregard for human life, Mitch agrees to provide security for the love fest. On the condition that we get his bike back from some punks who stole it. I infiltrate their hideout by doing a sick jump off some stairs and landing on the roof of the ammunition. From here, I just gotta shoot my way through them to grab the bike and bounce. With his bike back, Mitch honors his part of the deal, and I return to Lovefist to give them the good news.
Tommy, man, that cycle's back. What's going on? That psycho won't leave Love Vista. You think they're going, man?